Hey Alberto, how's it going? A lot of questions today. I guess so. The first thing is, um, I know for the GHR, you were saying to do partials. Um, I always wonder, like, do you get cramps? Do you get abdominal cramps when you do that? Like, it's not a bad thing, but my abs start cramping, like really bad, like to the point where it's just like really, especially if I really push myself, and particularly, which is always why it's like I feel like I could maybe like push for more reps. If I'm doing partial GHR, but then like my abdominal cramps after I'm done with the set would just be extremely bad. So I'm just wondering, like, is there any way to like, is that normal, or is there anything I'm not doing right? Like, should I worry about those cramps or just like keep pushing through and like just do more and more partials for the GHR? The next one is, so I wasn't sure if I fully understood what you meant by using the dual D handles for the N1. Um, the video that I sent you now, is that the handle you were looking for versus the one that I sent last week? Um, it's the squat form. I brought my feet back a little bit more on the leg on the Smith machine squat. I'm assuming you want that eventually to be even further back, right? Like a few inches further back. But yeah, let me know if that's what you were thinking. Um, the next thing is, so like, you know how the glute dominant leg press is just a very small range of motion, as you can see, and it's a lot of weight. So right now I'm using 9 plates. Is that normal? If I'm using nine, I'm always worried that when I'm using 9 plates, it's like, are my knees going to just like completely explode? They haven't so far, but what I'm saying is that, like, I guess I'm reaching the point where I can't really put any more plates on the. I guess I could put it on top, but it's also just like there's only so many plates in the gym, and everyone has to use plates, and I'm using like 9 plates on. So I'm wondering, like, should I just be continue to hit the 9 plates and just make it smoother, or yeah, just curious about like thoughts on that and whatnot. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm just trying to get stronger, right? Just better. I don't really care too much about what other people are thinking of me, but it's more just like, yeah, I guess you know what I'm kind of getting at. Does it look fine? Is 9 plates like a reasonable weight to be using for that? Stuff like that. Um, the next thing is, is it normal to? I'm assuming this is normal. Like, I'm assuming you're always dealing with like minor nagging issues. Like for me, for example, it's like that left shoulder, which is, I mean, it's not getting worse. It's fine, right? It's more just like, it's just like, oh, there's always like a few things that I'm always just dealing with, which usually resolve themselves, but that may take like a full year in order for that to get completely resolved. But it doesn't really have an impact on my actual training. I mean, that being said, that shoulder does like slightly, just very slightly, irritate me on the flat dumbbell bench press, but just slightly. I don't think it's anything that requires a change, but I'm assuming these are normal things that we deal with, is like these small nagging pains. I mean, no one's going to be pain free, I guess. Yeah, just curious what your thoughts are on that. And I guess another thing that I wanted to mention is, I haven't really improved on the flat dumbbell bench press. I mean, since I've been doing these partials, right? And I'm wondering why that is. And I mean, not that I need to improve on it. And I'm guessing the reason why I'm thinking I'm just not getting stronger, but I don't think that's the case, because I'm getting bigger and stronger every single week pretty much, on almost all my lifts. I'm guessing just because the dumbbell, all my other upper body movements that are pressing is the first movement that I do in the week, and then this dumbbell bench press is my third movement. So I'm assuming that I'm just pushing so hard on my upper back rear delt dominant row, as well as my upper back dominant pull down, because those are all going in this new program. Those are going to failure, and then I am going to partials on every single set. So I'm assuming like all my like secondary muscles are just very exhausted by the time I come into the dumbbell bench press, which I'm assuming is by design. But I guess, I mean, I shouldn't be discouraged by not improving on that. I'm assuming like it's supposed to be very hard. I'm assuming to improve on the third movement when I'm already extremely fatigued on the first two, which I am improving on. So there's that. I guess the last question for now is just kind of more of like a high level thing is, you know how like you see these people, for example, these people on YouTube who are lifting weights, and they say to themselves that, their peak physique was like at 29 years old, and they haven't improved in their 30s, or they maybe slightly regressed in their 30s. And I'm thinking to myself, like, these are people whose job it is to be in good shape, right? It's a fitness YouTuber, right? He's natural, fitness YouTuber, I forgot his name, whatever it is, right? So I guess like what happens? Like, why are some people able to improve after 30 and other people's just like stagnate, even when it's his job to improve? And I'm just thinking to myself as I'm 30 years old. It's like I was just like, assuming I'm improving quite significantly between 28 and 30, or even 29 and 30, and hoping to like continue to improve that, because I don't see it to where like, oh, I can't improve anything. I'm still improving on like, regularly, like, not too far apart, maybe a few weeks. But it's just like I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know, it's just always like kind of demoralizing sometimes when I see some people who are like, I am regressing, and you're only like 31 or 32 years old. And I say to myself, like, how does that even happen? And I'm saying to myself, will that happen to me in 2 years? Like, it doesn't seem that way. I would assume my physique would be much better at 32 than 30. But it's just like, I don't understand why that happens sometimes, and why some people are able to like improve into later age. Like you, for example, Jeff Alberts, didn't reach like peak physique until much later, right? I'm just wondering like why that happens in some cases. Yeah, or like what your thoughts are on that. It's just interesting to me why some people are unable to improve while others can continue to make progress for many years. Is it just that I had like just such poor programming and pushing myself when I was younger? I don't think so. I don't think the programming was that bad when I was younger. And I also don't think I didn't push myself when I was younger, although I think I do push myself more now. Yeah, just curious on thoughts.